We are live now.
Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. This is Kathy James, and I am the chair for the Personnel Commission for Ukiah Unified Schools. And I am calling the meeting for October 27th, 2020 into regular session. Our open session, we are still in shutdown, so as authorized by the governor's emergency executive order, which was issued March 12th of this year. The Ukiah Unified School District Personnel Commission will conduct its meetings via video conference, telecommute until further notice. This meeting will be streamed via UUSD's live YouTube channel. Members of the public who wish to address the commission during the meeting are asked to please use the public comment form prior to the start of the meeting. The form can be accessed on the Personnel Commission website at https://www.uusd.net. Under District, Departments, Personnel Commission, and selecting meeting agendas. At this time on our agenda is our roll call, and I will leave our director to do that, please.
Thank you. Kathy James, Chair.
Here.
Susan Scher.
Here.
Martha Giacomini.
Here.
Okay, thank you. Pledge of Allegiance. Susan, would you like to lead us in that, please?
Oh, in honor of Election Day coming up, sure. Okay. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great, and thank you for the flag. Thank you, Susan. Okay, commissioners, we are at the approval of today's agenda. Do I have a motion and a second to approve today's agenda?
I'd like to make
I'll
a
move to. Go ahead, Martha.
I'd like to make a motion to approve today's agenda.
I second.
So I have a motion and a second to approve today's agenda. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, the agenda has been approved. And at this time on our agenda, I'm going to call to order a public hearing. And this is 5.1 of the CSEA Chapter 194, nominee to the Personnel Commission. The chapter has chosen Martha Giacomini, and they're recommending her to be reelected and she has been reelected by the CSEA Chapter 194 to serve a second term as a classified representative to the Personnel Commission. At this time, the commission may take public comment on the qualifications of the candidate, which will occur on December 1, 2020. Members of the public who wish to address this item are asked to please use the public comment form prior to the start of the meeting. So do we have anything from the public, any forms turned in?
We do not.
Okay, well, Susan, I'll give you the floor. Would you like to say anything?
Only that we love you, and you're a wonderful commissioner, very dedicated and attentive and good-natured, and we're very happy that you're continuing.
Thank you, Susan.
Well, and I would like to second all of that and also say that Martha and I have been connected through the district for many, many, many years. And I'm glad that we remain so. And now we have grandchildren that connect us as well. So I'm glad you've agreed, and I'm glad that CSEA has nominated you again.
Well, thank you.
With no other comments, unless Marty would like to make a comment, or Nicole.
I'm fine.
Okay, so I will close the public hearing. Okay. Organizational updates is number 6 on our agenda. And this is an opportunity for the Personnel Commission, the district administration, or CSEA reps to make a brief announcement, a report on his or her own activities, or to ask questions. So I don't know if we have any forms turned in for that. And I don't know if Lori would like to comment on anything having to do with CSEA. Personnel commissioners, do you have anything? Okay,
No, just
All
get out
right.
and vote.
okay. All right, so we'll move to number 7 then, and this is community input. And this is when members of the audience or a community outside of our boardroom to welcome anything that they would like to present that's not on the agenda. Again, if the public would like to address anything, they need to do it through the public comment form. Do we have any for this item?
No comments were received.
Okay, thank you. Number 8 on our agenda is our consent agenda, and I will need a motion and a second from my commissioners, our commissioners, on this item. Do I have a motion?
Sure, I move to approve today's consent agenda.
In a second?
I second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda for today's meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, motion passes. I think I heard everybody.
I muted, but I said aye.
Okay, so reports is number 9 on the agenda, and our first report will be from Nicole Ginsler, our Human Resource Assistant Superintendent.
Yeah, I'll keep it short. We're still in distance learning, obviously. We have started our working groups again, which we started in the summer, and then we've restarted working groups to discuss, to make our plans for reopening. We still don't know when that may be, but when we are able to have students back on campus, we want to be prepared for that. So we've got multiple committees going. CSEA has representation on, I think, all of those committees. I know for sure at least 2 of them because I sit on 2 of them. We've also done our negotiations with CSEA just recently, and we are not closed for negotiations for the 21-22 school year, but we are closing negotiations for the 2021 school year. So we're very pleased with that. And I think that's kind of the summary of my report.
Okay. Any questions from Martha or Susan?
No.
Well, I see today that we are moving out of the purple tier, Mendocino County, and we are now moving into the red tier.
Yeah, I'm actually very surprised by that. Not just because Deb Cuban's been pretty strong and frequent communication with various people at the county, and I'm not sure if the county's surprised by that as well, but it didn't. I'm not sure. The numbers are difficult to track because the way the state and the county report them are different. So yes, but I saw that as well today, and I was very surprised.
Yes, so maybe that we're heading in somewhat of the right direction.
Let's hope so.
Right, and Marty has sent us copies of the communications from Deb Cuban, and it was very interesting to read the encouragement to all of the employees, and then also what's going on and what is holding back in school learning with, the waiting time of 2 weeks, and then for for that to change, and then another 2 weeks. So it's quite a process for these things to come in place for schools.
Yes.
Yes. So, anyway, I was excited to see red and I thought, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really, really appreciative of you sending us those weekly updates, Marty. Thank you.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Susan, any questions or comments?
No, thanks.
Okay.
You know, I just want to say too, I have a niece that teaches in Colorado, and she is doing, she's teaching half of her class online and then the other in the classroom. And she has told me it is very, very difficult learning, let alone just having two separate groups. And also, she's serving breakfast and lunch in the classroom. And her one son that goes to middle school, they go to school 2 days a week and then off 2 days. And then she has two students in high school, and they only attend on a Friday for 4 hours, and then the rest of the week is online learning. So it's interesting just to hear how this is going, you know, other places, just how it's working.
Yeah.
And not working. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have a niece who lives in Tucson, and her 8-year-old's in the 3rd grade, and they've been back now for 2 weeks, for 2 days a week
Mhm.
in the classroom, and the other 3 days they're online. And for that age group, she said it's been wonderful because her daughter is getting to be around her friends and peers and out of the house, and the physical activity, and it's just made a difference in their household, freeing her up to take the toddler to another little gymnastic thing. And so it's taken some pressure off.
Mm.
So it is interesting how it's different everywhere. But anyway, okay, shall we move right along here? That would be, next would be Marty's report, our director for the Personnel Commission.
Well, I'd like to keep it brief as well, where everybody's just got so much on their plates that I want to try and get through this as quick as possible, but I couldn't resist acknowledging Administrative Appreciation Week, October 11th through the 17th. I was gone the week before, and to come back, and Lori did a tremendous job, and her helpers did a tremendous job. When I got back, there were Post-it notes from the top of the door to the bottom of the door with little accolades singing my praises, and it was very heartfelt, very emotional. So thank you. And the superintendent's panel and administration gave us each some wonderful gifts as well. They sent home a card to our home addresses, and when I opened it up, I almost had a heart attack because this butterfly came flying out of it, and it scared me to death. My husband was rolling on the floor laughing at me, but it was so wonderful, and so it really desperately needed and appreciated. So thank you so much to everyone for making it such a special week.
Wow.
A real butterfly?
No, it was really kind of interesting. It was a butterfly, and you twist it with a rubber band, and then when they put it in the card, so when you take the card out and open the card, the rubber band spins the wings and it goes flying off.
Oh my gosh. That is very creative.
Adorable.
And Marty, you mentioned your birthday was this month, right?
It is at the end of the month. Yes, actually.
Oh, not yet.
Yeah.
What day?
The day after tomorrow.
The 29th.
Yeah, my
well, happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, trick or treat.
Yeah, I always loved Halloween. It was like a big birthday party as a kid. On another note, we had our first interim budget review. Everything went really well. Obviously, expenditures are low because of COVID. But we decided to keep it status quo until we get farther into the year and see how it progresses. Also, recently we received information about returning to the office 5 days a week. So we're hoping that we will be able to be here in the office more and together, obviously maintaining our social distancing and wearing masks and keeping all the safety protocol. But it will be great to see people. We've been in these cohorts of A group and B group. So while Nicole and I see each other, I rarely, if ever, see Lori or some of the other staff. And so it's kind of nice to get to see people that I haven't seen in a very long time. And last but not least, as Susan said, don't forget to get out there and vote if you haven't already. Very important.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Marty. We'll move on to our action items or discussion items. Our first item, 10.1, is a discussion slash action item. It's approval of the revised classified job description, head of plant, high school, lead.
I just had a little question about this. Is this 2 separate positions, one for day, one for night?
The positions were separate, but when we did our job study, it was recommended that we combine them into one because we only have one person filling each of the positions. And it was advised to combine it into one job description for both positions, and maintenance operations and CSEA agreed.
Okay, so it's 2
Okay.
different individuals, but it's the same job.
Correct.
Okay. And the salary's staying the same, it looks like.
That's why it's coming to you, because we, when we change the salary, or when we change the job description, the district gets to do that, but the PC sets determines the salary placement. Our recommendation, and I have met with Lisa on this, it's been a while now, but we have met to discuss this, and we recommend that it maintain the same level despite the changes. We don't see anything that is substantial enough to have it move up or down.
Okay.
Okay.
I had a question on the summary when it says under the general direction of, and it's slashed out, site administrator, but then it says superintendent or designee. And I'm just curious why the superintendent's name, not name, but why it says superintendent there.
All of our job descriptions are moving that direction.
Okay.
Because it makes it easier if people change roles or change titles. And because Deb can designate any administrator to be the supervisor. And so it seems simpler to have our job descriptions say superintendent or designee. So that's
Okay.
what we're doing with all certificated and classified job descriptions.
Okay.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
This is also coming to the Personnel Commission because there were a few minor changes under the education and experience, which is under the PC's purview. Language, changes from supervisor to lead. And then there was an addition of one item. And again, this was reviewed, Nicole and I and Irene and maintenance and operations and CSEA representatives have all gone over this and are in agreement with the language that you see here.
Okay, well, that's a positive then.
Yeah.
Looks pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
I just had one little teeny question. I was curious. Oh, never mind. I answered my own question. I saw that under ability to lift 50 pounds was deleted, but it was added at the end.
Right, under work environment.
Work environment and demands. Okay.
Right, yes.
This is our first reading? Yes? No?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're not voting on this. It says approval of.
Well, we've done both in the past, so we can, if there's no questions or concerns, You can approve it tonight. Otherwise, we
Oh.
could bring it back for a second reading and adoption at
Yeah.
the next meeting. Either
I
way
mean,
is fine.
It reads fine to me. I'm happy to do
Yeah,
that.
we might as well vote on it now.
Might
Is
as
my
well.
Sure.
Go ahead.
So I need a motion, please, and then a second.
I would like to make a motion for the approval of the revised classified job description, head of plant, school lead.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. I have a motion and a second to approve the job description for the head of plant day lead. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, Marty, it passes.
Thank you.
All right, our next item is a discussion. It was 10.2. It's possible revisions to the Personnel Commission Rule 401, which is the definition of terms, classified service.
This is being brought forward with the recommendations. We had our attorney review all of our PC rules. And this was one that she said we might want to change because the language wasn't real clear and it didn't follow ed code. It's, you know, minimal.
So is that what it says under classified service? Is that what it's now?
Yeah, so what it is right now is all positions in the jurisdiction of the district or the commission to which the act applies.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, well, that's not quite accurate. And the ed code says, in addition to, but in essence, all employees and positions within the jurisdiction of the governing board of the district or of the commission, except those that are exempt from classified service as specified in ed code 45256.
Yeah, I see
So
what they're
it was
doing.
important to include that, except those that are exempt. It's,
Yeah, I get it.
Right.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess if there's no changes, we can ask Marty to bring it back for an approval next meeting.
Could we just do it now?
No,
this, yeah, this we do need to bring back. So I will bring it back with the
Right.
as revised or
Oh, okay.
for
Yeah.
action.
Okay. All right, so we'll move on then to our next one, which is also discussion
Mm-hmm.
on 10.3. It's Personnel Commission Rule 403.13, which is printing and distribution of rules. So this must be another one, Marty, right, that they've gone over?
It is another one that she brought forward. The rules of the, again, she felt that the language that we didn't have to print and make them available, that by having them available electronically as it indicated in ed code, that would suffice. We just needed to update our language that is what we're doing now.
So
And that they're still available at the district service center for hard copies, but they are also transmitted electronically to the school site offices.
Okay,
That's
well,
just
that
let,
makes sense.
yes. That gives you more information of what you can, how you can get these.
Right, and I think that
right.
was the key.
Yes.
Well, and it's also a new way that they're giving it. So, well, it's not new, but it's new to this rule.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Susan, do you have any comments, additions?
No, I
anything?
don't. It's very clear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll bring this one back to Marty.
Thank you.
And then 10.4 on our agenda is another discussion item. And it's a possible revision to the Personnel Commission Rule 405.10, which specifically is employees working out of classifications.
Right, and the concern expressed by legal counsel was the fact that we have an employee temporarily working in a higher classification. She says it's not necessarily that they're working in a higher classification. So she felt it might be better if, again, we use the language that's in ed code, which is an employee may be required to perform duties inconsistent with those assigned to the position by the governing board for a period of more than 5 days, providing that his salary is adjusted upward for the entire period he is required to work out of classification, and in such amounts as will reasonably reflect the duties required to be performed outside his normal assigned duties. And again, I know sometimes there's a conflict with, do you put his, her, but it's important that we follow ed code, and this is precisely the language that's in ed code.
That's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
I like how this protects the employee more though, because I remember when I first came on the Personnel Commission, we had some issues with this.
Even though it's from ed code, I wonder if we could take out his, her, and just put the employee.
Oh,
It doesn't change the meaning anyway.
Right.
True.
Sure doesn't.
Because, you know, really evolved organizations aren't even using his or her anymore. They're using they.
Uh-huh.
Hopefully the California legislature will catch up. And it's interesting, the evolution that they is not considered grammatically incorrect anymore. It's just convenient.
mm-hmm.
But I like Nicole's suggestion. It doesn't change anything.
True.
Yeah, I like it too. And
Mhm.
it's referring to the employee, which can be any.
Right.
Yeah.
Any gender, yes.
Yeah. So what do you think? Shall we have that change? And then when we bring it back, we'll vote.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I agree.
It does have he, she up in the,
Well, up above is our current language, and where
Yeah.
underneath ed code is directly from ed code. So
right.
Yeah, I think it's I think ed code's going to get caught up. We might, and we're going to have to go back and change everything, but that's definitely the direction we're going. So I think
Mm-hmm.
take out those binary terms and replace them with they or the employee or
An
something
employee.
binary.
Okay. Well, I would suggest saying the employee. I like that.
I do too. That sounds
Okay.
good.
All right. You got that, Marty?
I will make it so.
Okay, Nicole, thank you. Nice suggestion. Okay, so we are done with that part of our agenda, and the commission is going to move into closed session. Is there any public comment regarding closed session items?
No comments were received.
Okay. Well, then at this time, I would like the commissioners to move into closed session.